hello to Lady Gaga, and welcome to the Billboard Pop Shop Podcast.
Hey, Katie, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Well, we are chatting today because you're picking up where you left off last year with the Bud Light Dive Bar Tour, but this time around you're heading to Las Vegas. So why did you want to get back out on the Dive Bar Tour, and why Vegas?
I just love playing in bars, and I got to tell you, all the time I think about how I started out in my career, and I was just playing in bars downtown in New York, and you miss that, you know? It's a very wonderful, intimate connection that you get to make with the audience, and it's all about, you know, friendship and love and bonding. It's incredible.
Yeah, I actually got to go to the Silver Lake one last year, and, I mean, you seriously were able to connect with everybody in that room.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was an amazing time. I loved performing there, and, you know, it's just one of those things I always tell people, you got to play a dive bar like an arena, and you play an arena like a dive bar.
And what are some of your favorite moments from last year's Dive Bar Tour stops?
You know, I gotta say, when we went to New York and we played at the bitter end, it was a very special night for a couple of reasons. The first being that I got to sing Grigio Girls from my record Joanne to my friend Sonia, who recently passed of cancer. Oh. And I will always cherish that moment. And I know, you know, she's looking down and cherishing it too. You know, she wanted to be on the live stream because she wanted people to know that you can still be strong and have stage 4 cancer. And it was pretty special. And then after me and Mark Ronson went up on the top of the roof, and we sang Angel Down to a giant crowd of people in the streets. And the song is really about the world and about how it's important to be loving during a tumultuous time and caring about, you know, the angel that's down and picking them up. And, you know, it was really special. Everybody was singing in the street. It was awesome.
You know, all the songs on Joanne have been really personal to you and obviously are really emotional. You know, how will this year's Dive Bar show be different now that fans have had 8 months with the Joanne album instead of it just being the first time they hear some of these songs like it was last year?
Right. Well, you know, the Dive Bar shows last year, they were informed by the fact that the fans hadn't heard a lot of the material yet. So I approached them more like a sort of pseudo electro pop underground moment, as opposed to just, you know, me at the piano. But this time around for the Dive Bar Tour, I intend for it to be even more intimate than it was the last time. I really want to break the songs down and talk to the audience even more and just, you know, sing the hell out of my songs.
Absolutely. And, you know, this Dive Bar Tour is a little different this time around since you're also passing the torch to 2 new artists who will have their own stops. I know those artists are under wraps for now, but can you kind of tease what fans might be able to expect from the other Dive Bar shows down the line?
Well, I feel like it's really exciting that this is happening because this Dive Bar Bud Light concept was something that we invented together, and I feel so excited that it's living on. And what I will tell you about these future artists that are playing is that it's a very diverse group. And so, you know, everything that you're seeing at these dive bars are not going to be the same. Not the same types of artists. It's not connected in any way. It's all about just, like, celebrating diversity.
Great. And after your Vegas concert in July, you'll be kicking off your Joanne World Tour on August 1st in Canada. Where are you now in the preparations for that tour?
Well, the stage has been designed and is being built, and we have been building the story of the show since the Super Bowl. And we are beginning to sort of delineate, you know, where we want choreography, what songs I'd like to play at the piano. And lighting is a big thing this year. The stage is very different from anything we've ever done before, and I'm really in love with it, so I'm very excited about the show.
And, you mentioned playing a dive bar like an arena and playing an arena like a dive bar. What are some of the major differences between getting in a tiny room of 250 at a bar in Silver Lake or getting in front of a crowd of 40,000 at some of the baseball parks that you have lined up for the Joanne Tour?
Well, when you're playing in a baseball stadium, it's possible to see some fans in the front, but it's not possible to see as many up close and personal. And at the dive bar, you can, depending on the configuration, you can really see everyone. So I think, the intention is to, when I'm in the arena, to really kind of slow it down sometimes and really connect with each person in the most intimate way that I can, like it would be in a dive bar. And then when I'm playing in a dive bar, the idea is to be intimate at times, but then to be explosive and big as well, to give people the feeling of what it would be like to see me in a bigger venue.
Definitely. And speaking of a bigger venue, you headlined Coachella in April, and you debuted your new song, The Cure, there. Do you have any plans to maybe bring out some new music on the world tour?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Absolutely. It's going to be really fun, and I'm really excited.
And how did Coachella or the Super Bowl halftime kind of inform your preparation for the world tour?
Well, we never like to do the same thing twice, but we do obviously love to represent the choreography that me and my dancers, who I've been with for 10 years, all of them, have been doing for a long time. So we like to, bring back certain moments, but we're creating something completely new. It will grow out of what you saw at the Super Bowl and Coachella, but, we always like to keep it fresh.
And you've been crazy busy over the past few months between Coachella and filming the A Star is Born remake with Bradley Cooper. Has getting into the shoes of your character Allie for the movie been inspiring to you as an artist and a performer?
100%. I'm so completely blown away by Bradley's talent, and am so excited to be working with him every day. We just wrapped for the film, and I, have had a couple days to be off set and come out of being Allie. And I have to say, I don't know that I realized how much it affected me becoming her and the movie until it was over. It's been very powerful. It brought me back to another time in my life. It also brought me to a different place because there are some things about her and I that are different. And I'm back now to being, me and focusing on music, which is not something I had to focus on Allie and her music
right.
for the past couple of months. It's a different thing, but so proud of all that work and really just so honored to be a part of it. The whole team on A Star is Born was just magnificent.
And speaking of that music, there was a lot of iconic music in the 1976 film, including the #1 hit Evergreen. Is the music in your version all original, or will there be some familiar songs maybe?
It's all original. There may be one or two songs that are, covers, but they're not from the original film.
Okay.
But I don't want to say a lot about the film because I really love to save the juice of it for everyone to see. It's very special, and we worked really hard on it all together.
Absolutely. And one of the things that that you did get to do for the film was filming concert scenes with big crowds of extras. How was filming concert scenes versus actually doing an actual concert?
Well, it's completely different.
I'm sure.
But the idea is to recreate the alchemy of those moments. So we did. It was fun to make it happen, if that makes any sense. Like to go out there not as myself with Bradley and just create what is a performance moment. And it was so much fun, I have to tell you.
That's great. And on a serious note, one of the stops on your tour coming up will be at the Manchester Arena, which will reopen in September just before your October concert. What will playing that arena mean for you after the tragedy that took place at Ariana's concert?
It will mean a lot to me. I'm excited to share that moment with my fans, as I am in, you know, every place that we go. And I think it's important, you know, in every city that I stop in, that we honor that tragedy and be there for one another, and remember that life is precious, and we have to be kind and stick together.
Absolutely. And finally, the Joanne album was such a personal one for you. What does it mean to finally be able to get out there and bring these songs to your fans across the world?
It feels really great. I mean, I absolutely put, you know, a lot of my soul into that record, and into the sounds, into the words, into the way I was singing. And I'm looking forward to integrating that with my other songs to contextualize it in a way for the fans. I hope they are able to celebrate with me what Joanne is. A woman looking out, putting a hat on, and saying to herself, I'm about to go somewhere because I'm getting out of here. And I don't know where I'm going, but I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I'm not sure what will happen or if I'll even like it, but I don't care because I can't stay here. And I think more than anything, I just want my fans to feel a message of liberation, that they can at any point in time change where they are in their life and move forward.
Amazing. Gaga, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today, and we'll see you out on the road.
Thank you. I can't wait.